What's up, guys? Welcome back to Amazing RC. Well, we got the REDCAT Gen 7 Pro here. Believe me, it is a REDCAT Gen 7 Pro. And I made some changes. One of which you can notice immediately is I changed the body on it. And one of the things I really wanted to do is I wanted to keep the tilting roll cage mechanism of the Gen 7 Pro. And the first thing I did is I made a giant mistake and I cut up my Dodge body attempting to keep the tilting roll cage. And as you can see, the Dodge body's not on the Gen 7 Pro and it's hacked a bit. So I failed. No big deal. We went with the 82 Ford, I think it's a Ford Bronco body. I had this on a TRX4. I'll try to figure out what body it is because it fits not only the TRX4 but the Gen 7 Pro perfectly. And what I got to do using this body is I got to keep the Gen 7 Pro's tilting roll cage. And that's what I wanted to do. I'm pretty jacked that I got to do it. Now, believe it or not, that's not the show stealer on what I've actually done to the 7 Pro so far. What I'm most proud of right now is what I did to the suspension. When you get the Gen 7 Pro, there are a ton of things that you get as opposed to the Sport model. One of which are fully aluminum shocks that are adjustable. One of the things that they failed to do when they upgraded the shocks is they failed to test it out, and on their softest setting, the black stock spring that comes with it is so stiff that there's no adjustment that you're ever going to do. So I wanted to soften the shocks up, and I immediately started looking for springs. Now, first thing I thought of were Traxxas springs. I'm a Traxxas guy. I got a ton of Traxxas stuff, including 1/10 scale bandits, slashes, rustlers, and stampedes, and so on. They all use the same, shock with the same bore. They just switch up the springs and they throw them on all their cars, which is great because they're universal, but the spring doesn't exactly fit on the Gen 7 Pro shock. Now, what I did was I started fooling around with the parts of the Traxxas shock and the Gen 7 shock. I wanted to keep the aluminum shock bodies, obviously, because there was nothing wrong with those. They're very nice shocks. So what I did was I actually found out that the retainer, spring retainer to a Traxxas shock, the part that actually traps the spring to the top of the shock, if you actually take two of those and slide it onto the stock shock body of the Gen 7 Pro, this little black ring will actually clip to the top adjuster to the shock and the bottom bell cap to the shock. And it's almost like it's made for the upgrade. What this does for you is it allows you to use all of those springs you got sitting in a crate somewhere for all your 1/10 scale Traxxas models. It's one of the best upgrades that I've done so far. I put it out on the rocks. It's super squishy, but yet with the 2-stage spring, it's still super firm. You're just going to have to see the footage and judge for yourself. We got a ton of upgrades still coming for this. I'm going to throw these TRX4 fender flares on this truck. We're going to paint the outside of it Johnny Rains style. Shout out to my homeboy Johnny Rains. If you haven't checked out his channel yet, you need to. When I painted this originally, I used some really bad paint on the interior, and as you can see, it's just falling off. So I got to resurrect the body. I got a ton more stuff going into it, guys. It's Brian, Amazing RC. Enjoy the footage. We're gonna get you another really cool video very, very soon.